The Rockland County Business Journal, sponsored by the Ugel Law Firm.
I'm Scott Ugel of the Ugel Law Firm. I don't have to tell you how our world has dramatically changed. Today, many people are suffering financially and often do not know where to turn for help, as they have many questions. I have been practicing consumer law for over 35 years and have handled thousands of cases where we help people save their home through loan modifications and or forbearance agreements by going to state Supreme Court, bankruptcy court, or without having to go to court at all. Please give me a call, as every situation is different, and let me tell you how I might be able to help you or someone you love. I'm Scott Ugel of the Ugel Law Firm.
And Tina Traster of the Rockland County Business Journal. Good morning.
Good morning, Rockland County. How is everybody out there in this windy land today?
It's windy, all right, and will be for the majority of the week, I think.
Crazy weather. Crazy weather. So, when someone puts on an addition to a house, okay, they typically hire a contractor, a plumber, an electrician, framing and drywall folks. And all this work needs to be inspected by a town. You have an architect who certifies plans, who will pull a building permit, and ultimately a homeowner will get a certificate of occupancy, or a C of O. Also, when a homeowner cuts down trees, especially lots of trees, I believe that in every town or village, they need to hire an arborist, and if they're disturbing land in a significant way, they would also need to submit to their town or village a site plan, engineering, so on, silt fences, etc. So one is asking, how in the world did contractors agree to build a second-story addition and potentially have cut down more than 100 trees, okay, on a Valley Cottage property, on land that the trees that are both on the homeowner's land and on an abutting piece of land that is part of preserved town land that was bought several years ago with $1.7 million with a town bond. One just wonders how all of this can be done without pulling a single permit or having a single inspector come. And it's, even though the burden is going to ultimately fall on the homeowner, and I'll tell you why in a minute, one really wonders how all of those people, worked up there on this sort of remote road, on Old Stone Road in Valley Cottage, but were able to do so without a single inspection along the way. And it also raises the question, was he using licensed contractors? And ultimately, is there a consequence for these sort of tradesmen? So what we know and what we've reported on is that there's a homeowner up on, like I said, it's sort of a remote road off Christian Herald in Valley Cottage. And what alerted some environmentalists or conservationists to the problem in the first place is that the homeowner took down what is alleged to be maybe 100 trees that is on land that's both, it basically, it abuts his property. And this is land that was, it's called West Hook Mountain. It was purchased under Clarkstown's Town Open Space Initiative several years ago, back in 2003, as part of, for $1.7 million. And it's part of the Long Path Trail. But the folks up there have all these, no trespassing, private property signs, even though, in fact, a portion of that land is public land. Now, unfortunately, over the years and through many administrations, there had never been any signage up there, and there had never been any work to really connect that piece of land to the trails. But like I said, there were conservationists who became aware that there was this, scorching of the earth up there. So they brought it to the town's attention. If you believe the town was on it right away. If you believe the conservationists, they said that Clarkstown dragged its feet. But finally, on November 16th, the town issued a stop work order and notice of violation under the town's stormwater management code. And then finally, 3 months later, in January, the town filed a suit saying that the defendant had failed to comply with erosion and sediment control measures. So what the suit seems to demand is some sort of a site plan and an acknowledgement that that they'll have to pay back taxes because now there's a second-story addition, as well as a reassessment.
Is this a commercial district, by the way?
No, this is a residential. It's up a long road. There are a few houses up there. It's very, very private. But for the fact that these abut public lands up there, there's a good chance that nobody ever would have known. And now the question becomes, okay, so what happens? I mean, will Clarkstown ask them to tear down the addition? Not likely. That does happen in some places. It's not likely to happen here. I think what the conservationists want, and what a lot of people feel would be fair, would be to have some sort of a remediation of the scorched earth where all the trees have been taken down. And if you look at the tree ordinance, Clarkstown imposes a minimum fine of $500 and up to $1,500 per tree, and community service or violation. But the town can force the violator to remediate the damage by replacing the trees. And so this is just an interesting story. It's obviously it's a one story. It's very local. It's one homeowner. It's amazing that a homeowner would allegedly do this without pulling a permit, but there does not appear to be a permit of any sort. But I think it's a signal to every village and town in the county that this is the sort of thing that just cannot be tolerated, if in fact this is what the homeowner has done. And I think that, Clarkstown, which likes to pride itself on being so tough on code enforcement, is going to be tested here. It's like just a test of how they're going to deal with this, especially because it has the unique circumstance of them having taken down all these trees on both public and private land. So that's what sort of makes it a unique story, and one that again I think it's a warning to homeowners, and it's a warning to all the tradesmen and contractors and subcontractors who work on properties like this, of the importance of dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Tina, would you take a call here?
Sure.
From Gordon Wren?
Oh, sure.
Gordon, you're on with Tina Traster. Good morning.
Good morning, Tina. Very interesting topic today. I believe I spoke to Supervisor Homan about this property. He referred to it in a discussion with me last week, and I believe he said they're going to take pretty strong action against it, as he has done in the past. In the last several years, when he finds contractors and building owners who do this kind of work without permits, historically, he's come down very, very hard, and I know on at least one occasion where he forced him to take the addition down. Actually,
and
then if you think about it, it's quite a deterrent. Whoever the person was that did the illegal work, they spent the money to build the building illegally, and then Clarkstown makes them take it down and then put it back to its original condition. And in another case, not too far from there, where they cut down hundreds of trees, he fined them, made them plant like 300 or 400 trees. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, but you're 100% right. Municipalities need to take action, and strong action, when you have blatant violations like this. And if you see what's going on in Rampo, that's how it started. They don't take legal, firm, strict action against the violators, and then they just get away with it. So it becomes one is for the philosophical reason of making an example, and then is just the other of the pure reason to restore the trees. I mean, I don't know if you've been up there and you've had a look, but it's pretty sad. Well, Clarkstown, the least supervisor has said he's sending a message to contractors and property owners who do this kind of thing don't do it in Clarkstown, you're going to pay a very heavy price. And as far as the cases I'm aware of, he's taking extremely strong action, and it seems to be working. You don't see very much of this in Clarkstown. Maybe they came from Rampo and they think they can just do, we joke around saying in Rampo and a lot of its villages now, it's just violate the law, and if you get caught, beg for forgiveness. So, you might get a small fine, if anything, but you've got your, whatever it is you wanted to do. But in this case, I think he may force him to take that addition down. I wouldn't be surprised he did it once before.
Well, in terms of the suit in court, it doesn't seem to address. Well, it doesn't specifically address the trees yet, so I'm not sure where this is going. But there is a court date for that we have published in the piece. So people will be able to follow the story, and we'll continue to report and see what happens. But
Tina, that's the key. You've exposed this publicly now, and that's what we've been doing. Follow these cases, and it keeps the public aware, and it kind of forces the hand of everyone involved to take these cases seriously, and hopefully it'll be handled the proper way in court, and they will pay a fine for violating the town's and the state's regulations.
And the good thing about Tina's publication is it's updated immediately. There's no lag time, between when you find out the information's got to be printed and then distributed, right?
That's right. And I was just going to give myself this is the importance of local journalism, of hyper-local journalism, so that we keep everybody honest and we follow the rules.
Yeah, I read it. It's very interesting, and it's really up to date. But I think it's very important, and I think the residents of Clarkstown should be assured that this administration is being tough. And I don't live in Clarkstown. I'm not involved in the political aspect of any of this. But George Homan recognizes how serious it is on his western border along the town of Rampo, how it could so easily just encroach and start to spread into the town. He's taking it very seriously, as he should. And let's follow this case and see what happens.
Hey, Gordon, thanks a lot, buddy.
Okay, talk to you on Friday.
Take care. You got it. And Tina, thank you. And again, you stirred up a hornet's nest now. Good for you.
Okay, another day, another hornet's nest.
There you go.
And just reminder, everybody, sign up, free daily e-blast, if you want to be following the news like Gordon Wren is doing.
You got it, and others too. The Rockland County Business Journal, RCBiz, BIZ, Journal.com. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, have a great week.